In northeastern Texas, temperatures are in the 70s. The Ohio Valley has temperatures that are in the 50s for the most part. The Great Lakes region, you have Michigan. Temperatures are in the 40s to low 50s. Plus, Wisconsin, temperatures are in the 40s. Minnesota, you got temperatures that are in the 40s to low 50s. North Dakota and South Dakota, temperatures are in the upper 40s to mid 50s. Iowa has temperatures that are in the 50s. Nebraska has temperatures that are in the mid 50s to low 60s. In Missouri, temperatures are in the upper 50s to upper 60s. And in Kansas, temperatures are in the 60s to low 70s. Montana has temperatures that are in the 50s to low 60s. Idaho, for the most part, temperatures are in the upper 40s to low 60s. Wyoming has temperatures that are in the 50s to mid 60s. Colorado has temperatures that range from that are in the 60s to low 70s. Utah, in the northern half of the state, they're in the 50s. Utah, 60s to mid 70s. Nevada, temperatures throughout much of the state, they're in the mid 50s to low 60s. And in the southern half, temperatures range from the mid 60s to low 80s. In the desert southwest, though, we have temperatures in New Mexico. They range from the upper 60s to low 80s. Temperatures range from 53 in Alpine to 70 in Caibido to 79 in Kingman. In the southern half of the state, you have temperatures that are in the 80s to low 90s. In the coastal part of California, you got temperatures that range from the low 60s to mid 70s. It's 86 in Indio. The Central Valley, California, though, temperatures are in the upper 60s to mid 70s. In Oregon, you got temperatures that are in the mid 50s to mid 60s. Washington State, temperatures range from the mid 50s to low 60s. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Gusts. There are a lot of strong gusts in the Great Lakes region, the Ohio Valley, and the Appalachian parts of the country. Oh, and that includes my area too, with wind gusts all throughout the coastal part of the Northeast, where they're blowing at around up to 30 to 40 miles an hour, but you go inland into West Virginia, winds are blowing up to 50 miles an hour in terms of gusts. The lake shores of Lake Erie, gusts are blowing up to 60 miles an hour, maybe close to 70. And Lake Michigan, gusts are up to 50 to 60 miles an hour. But in places like the desert southwest, like Arizona, wind gusts are up to 30 to 40 miles an hour. And the coastal side of the Cascades, in the Pacific Northwest, gusts are blowing up to 30 to 40 miles an hour there. Humidity. You got a lot of humidity throughout Maine, northern New England, the Great Lakes region, and the coastal part of the Pacific Northwest, and then a little bit in the Sierra Nevadas and parts of Arizona. Elsewhere, it's going to be very dry. In the next 24 hours, where's the rainfall? Well, you're going to see a lot of rain along the along the Great Lakes region, places like upstate New York to Ohio to Michigan and parts in upper Michigan as well. Wild for you, not much. For those on the eastern side of the Great Lakes region, you can see it just about as much as up to 3 inches of rain there. On the eastern side of Lake Michigan and Lake Huron, just about as up to 2 inches of rain. The desert southwest and Great Basin, New Mexico could see as much as about an inch and a half of rain. Utah on the southern part, about as much as up to an inch or two of rain. Nevada could see just about as much as half an inch of rain there. And on the coastal side of the Cascades in Washington State, up to half an inch to a full inch of rain. What about snowfall? Any new snow in the Great Basin? Western Colorado could see just about as much as up to 6 inches of snow in the next 24 hours. In southern Utah, some places, especially south of Richfield, about up to a foot of snow, maybe a foot and a half. And a few places in Nevada and Sierra Nevadas could see as much as about up to 3 to 6 inches of snow. Not much in the Cascades, though. Though it would be wise for y'all to check with your local officials and your local weather office just to get actual recordings of weather, such as rainfall, wind gusts, wind speed, and wind direction, or even snowfall, or even ice, freezing rain, and sleet. Just gonna go to here, here. So what do we got? Let's assume that this is right now. We do have trough just located over just north of Lake Ontario, and another trough just over Southern California, and another one just over British Columbia. A ridge, connected ones are from Mexico to Wyoming. What does this mean? It just means that there's plenty of wet weather in the desert southwest, parts of the Pacific Northwest, and throughout much of the Northeast, and just a little bit in the Great Lakes region, though. But most of it's just caused by the lake effect precipitation, though. When you get warmer waters, you get waters that are warmer than the air itself. And that tends to lead to some lake effect snow in some cases, or lake effect rain showers. But right now the air isn't freezing right now. I mean, if it were, I would have said 30s or even low 40s for that matter. I just didn't see it. 24 hours, which is tomorrow night. Just a mini trough over northern Montana and over the Four Corners area of Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, and Utah. And a big trough just over Quebec, and a flat ridge over Texas, and another ridge just off of California, which means that we're going to be dealing with some wet weather in places like New Mexico, Southern Plains, and Texas, and a tiny bit in North Dakota, and plenty of wet weather in the Pacific Northwest, and just a little bit in the southeast, though. Friday night, though, we do have a trough just over New Mexico and western Texas. Another trough, another one just north of New England, and a mini trough just over northern Minnesota, and a very large one just offshore from British Columbia. A ridge over Southern California, and another ridge just over the southeast. And there could be two other ones, just mini ones, just over Montana and Wisconsin. This means that there's going to be a lot of wet weather, maybe some storms in Texas and the southern plains, and plenty of wet weather to deal with in the northwestern part of the country, all the way down to the San Francisco Bay Area, and tiny bits of wet weather to deal with in the upper Mississippi Valley, perhaps wild. All right. And finally, by Saturday night, a trough will be over the southern plains. Another trough just over Vancouver Island, and another trough just over north of New England and Quebec. It's going to be a ridge over the southeast and over the desert southwest, and another one just over Minnesota and the Dakotas, which means that there's going to be a lot of wet weather to deal with in the northwestern part of the country. And some severe weather could brew throughout. Strong to severe weather will occur throughout Texas, the southern plains, and the lower Mississippi Valley. Now I'm going to go back here. And we're going to change the region right now just so that we can talk about the tropics. Perfect timing. Okay, so Melissa is located just south of Haiti. Well, we'll talk more about the exact position, but right now this is just the upper level map of what we're going to be dealing with in terms of Melissa. And any development here, highly doubtful, but still a chance though. But strong winds are over the Gulf though. There is a trough just over Quebec and Ontario. And by Thursday night, tomorrow night though, it's threatening to get through the Hispaniola. Maybe something could form right between the Windward Islands and in Africa. Maybe something could form just northeast of Melissa. Let's see here. Okay, Friday night it makes landfall. It's a category. Is at least a Category 1 hurricane in Haiti. And although there is not much I can talk about because a lot of dry air is there, and yet the system is not quite organized for development, and especially right here, and maybe right around here, but strong winds will prevail over any chance of development. But the local terrain in Hispaniola will weaken the system just a bit, weaken Melissa. A Saturday night interacts with the local topography, with the highest elevation, shredding Melissa into pieces. I don't know if it'll recover. Any chance of development are squandered. Yeah, you have this trough right here. It's going to pass by, but another one right here might end up picking up Melissa. And Melissa gets bigger after it goes through Hispaniola. That means this one might pick this system up, or right here, or this one here. But yet there's something maybe developing, but it's quite deceiving though. Hold on a minute. Alright, I'm back. This is Sunday night. Now we move on to Monday night. This trough is going to pick up Melissa. It's going to kick it out of here before it even has a chance of reaching the East Coast. So anywhere else, any chance of development maybe here, but highly unlikely though, given that so much wind shear is present. Then by Tuesday night, Melissa moves out east, becomes a fish storm after making landfall in Hispaniola.